does with our money? Is it only the protector of our money, or there is something more to it? So to explain the phenomena of what really a bank does, we will cover three topics. Namely, what does it do with our money? That is actually lending it to others, which we will cover in a short while. How does it sustain by lending money to others? And what happens to our money if the bank goes bankrupt? To explain this model, we've considered two fictional characters. That is Harish, who's a commerce student of Standard 9, and his finance private tutor, Mr. Rajesh Sharma. Well, one fine day, Harish went to the bank with his father to apply for a loan. His father was sanctioned around 3 lakhs. This raised a all new set of questions in Harish's mind, who all this while thought that the bank is only the protector of money. That is all what the bank does. But now he wondered that how can the bank give such a huge amount as loan to his father? From where did all this money come up? How does the bank make money for itself? So the next day he decided to ask his finance teacher what really the bank does with our money. And the conversation is as follows. Harish, sir, I always wondered how bank really works. I mean, is it that when we deposit the money in the bank takes the money, puts it in a safe with our names on it, and then when we again take out the money, the bank takes the money out of it from our respective safe and hands it over to us? Rajesh sir, pretty much the same Harish, but it's just that though the passbook shows individual account holder's name, but all our money is kept in a big pool of money along with all the other account holders of the bank. But sir, then what advantage does the bank get? What will it want? Why will it want to protect all our money? Do we give them some incentives to protect it? Well, no, Harish, we don't give them any incentives to protect it. Then from where does it get all our money to run the bank? Rajesh sir, well, Harish, do you know what the bank does with our money? Harish, yes, protects it. Rajesh sir, that's it? Harish, yes, I guess so. Not really. The funny thing about a bank works is that it functions because of our trust. We give a bank our money to keep it safe for us, and then the bank turns around and gives it to someone else in order to make money for itself. That is why, that is when some X amount to the bank is deposited, the bank lends this X amount to some other person and charges interest on that amount lent. The interest earned on such process is the profit that the bank makes. Harish, sir, I'm a little confused. Can you explain me with an example? Rajesh, sir, sure. Branch are just like other businesses. Their product just happens to be money. Other businesses sell service, banks sells money in the form of loans. Like for example, does your father have a loan? Yes, home and car loan from the State Bank of India. Okay, great. Now you know that there are many people who have an account in State Bank of India. So when your father has asked for a loan for his car, it was the money of some other person who has an account in the bank which was given to your father for the loan. And after his loan was sanctioned, he had to pay interest to the bank at a rate of, let's say, 10%. So put it in simple terms, let's say your father was sanctioned a loan of 3 lakhs. He has to pay 30,000 as interest annually. So let's say that your father repays back the loan of 3 lakhs in 3 years. So your father cumulatively has to pay 3 lakhs plus 30,000 for 3 years each. That comes up to 90,000. So this total extra 90,000 is served as interest to the bank, which the bank earns. And that is how the bank makes its own money. And like this, it continues for every individual and organization. Because almost every individual in the planet has some kind of a loan, be it a home loan, a car loan, or an educational loan. Harish, okay, sir, that sounds really awesome. But, sir, now what happens if those people whose money was lended to my father comes back and asks for it? Rajesh, sir, as I told you previously, the bank does not have names written on it. The money you need to understand that there are millions of people who have an account with the bank. so it always have money to give back to the people when they want it. But sir, you said there is almost everyone who has a loan. So doesn't that sound scary? Oh, well, yes, it does. It is scary when you think of the situation that when the bank has lent a lot of money as loan, and at the same time everyone who has a saving account come to ask for their money. Honestly, such a situation is never going to occur, Harish. So there is actually nothing to worry about. But sir, what happens if the bank fails? If it goes bankrupt, will the bank return all our money? Well, a very good question, Harish. But to explain it, we'll have to go a little depth into the function of the bank. Let us suppose that A deposits 100 rupees to a bank. Now, what the bank really does is it keeps rupees 10 as reserve and the rest rupees 90 as loanable amount to give to another person, let's say B. So person B takes the amount from the bank and then later on he saves it in the bank. So the bank again gets the rupees 90 back, which again with the policy of 10% reserve, it keeps 9 rupees as reserve and keeps 81 rupees as loanable amount, which can be given to person C. This way there is always certain amount which is reserved in the bank, so that risk factor is reduced. However, in our Indian policy rules, even if the bank goes bankrupt and there is no money with the bank and it has to return to all its client, then it shall be the duty of the RBI, that is the Reserve Bank of India, which is the head of all the banks, to return to its customers a certain amount of money back. Does that answer your question, Harish? Well, it does, sir. But now you tell me what happens if a bank is robbed or let's say destroyed by floods or earthquakes. Rajesh, sir. Then it shall be the duty of the bank to pay back the money of its customers, or maybe it can be done from the other branches. Harish. Thank you, sir. I think now I have all my questions answered regarding what the bank does with our money. The pleasure is all mine, Harish. Thank you.